Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Huraizah Arshad. I'm from Department of Estate Management, Faculty of Architecture, Planning and Surveying, UiTM Perak. So today I will present my research project titled Barriers in Religious Schools, Administration and Management, Preliminary Study. So this research is actually funded by Ministry of Education under Fundamental Research Grant Scheme 2017. The main purpose of this paper is to identify what are the barriers which hinders in terms of the implementation of effective and efficient of the maintenance and management of the schools, specifically religious schools in Malaysia. Religious schools are normally built on the Wakaf land, and the current practice of the administration and management for this type of schools is under the responsibility of State Islamic Religious Council or Majlis Agama Islam Negeri together with Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri. So under Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, there is specific department called Bahagian Pengurusan Sekolah who directly involved in terms of the administration of the schools, including the materials, the books, the syllabus, and also the teachers. And this department also responsible in terms of the management of the buildings, of the school buildings, from the process of the development, the construction, the handing over process until the operational phase. Meaning in terms of the occupation process. Before we go further, I would like to define what are the Wakaf property. So the Wakaf property is a property including building and land which are donated for the purpose of giving benefits to other people. So once you donate or wakaf or property, it will long last for forever, meaning is for perpetuity. So it is important to ensure that the wakaf property can be sustained in terms of the operation and in terms of the benefits to the beneficiaries. Looking back at the history, in Wakaf educational practice, so University Al-Azhar in Mesir is one of the most successful institutions which is built on the basis of the Wakaf. The contribution of Wakaf educational institutions, especially in producing Islamic scholars, cannot be denied. However, many have argued that the complexities rendered by the Wakaf properties during the operational management phase, which often overshadow the benefits of the Wakaf property itself in terms of the development. So several factors that cause this situation is considered as barriers for the implementation of a good, effective and efficient of the Wakaf administration and management in Malaysia. In order to dig deeper in terms of the issue, so the literature review has been done to identify what are the barriers in terms of the management and administration of the Wakaf of the building during the operations. So basically this research is based on the paper or research done by Saga Farash in 2012 and Zainul in 2016, which consider the problems, which classified the problem into the 5 major cluster. The first one is in terms of the technical problem, the managerial problem, the environmental and biological problem, the social and cultural problems, and last is in terms of the political and also the legal problems. So in the context of wakaf administration and management, so there are about 10 issue or 10 problems which have been highlighted by the previous authors. The first one discuss about the lack of fund allocation for the maintenance aspect. Because normally the wakaf property is non-generating income property, so it's hard to this type of building to ensure the revenues to sustain in terms of the operation. The second one is the factors in terms of the lack of knowledge on administration and technical skills, followed by the issues of the accountability by the Nazir or Mutawali as a manager of the Wakaf property, and talking about also about the lack of the staff at the Majlis Agama Islam, also in terms of the legal constraint, in terms of the development and the planning of the Wakaf property, also the conflict of the land value and the location of the Wakaf itself. This is considered as a physical constraint, and also discuss about the lack of awareness among Muslims towards the practice of Wakaf, and it leads to the misuse of the Wakaf assets. And last is most of the authors also discuss about the lack of the usage, the lack of in terms of the usage of the information technology in the management and administration of the Wakaf property. For methodology, this paper is developed based on the objective of the research, which is to identify what are the barriers of the maintenance and management of the Wakaf educational building, specifically of the religious schools. It continue with the literature review from the journals, papers, books, and the related documents. So from the literature review, basically we identify the 10 issues which are related to the aspect of administration and management of the school buildings. And from these factors of issue, we have developed the questionnaire and has been tested to the respondents, basically from the Majlis Agama Islam Negeri, Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, specifically from the bahagian pengurusan sekolah. And the result from the questionnaire has been test analysis has been analyzed using the frequency analysis and also the criticality index. Prior to that, before the questionnaire has been tested to the respondent, the reliability test for the questionnaire is 0.76. From the analysis, the result shows that all the problem has been ranked into the ranking 1 with more significant factors, and the ranking 10 consider at least significant factors. So the first 3 factors are ranking 1, lack of knowledge on administrative and technical skills among the Wakaf educational property administrator, which clustered as a major problem, followed by lack of maintenance, lack of allocation of the maintenance fund for the maintenance practice, which also considered as a managerial problem. And the third ranking is lack of awareness among Muslim regarding the practice of the Wakaf, which cluster as a social and cultural problems. So these are the 3 main factors which contribute to the problem in the effective and efficient implementation of the Wakaf maintenance and management. So the ranking 4 is a conflict of land value and the location of the Wakaf property considered as a physical constraint. So this is clustered as a political and legal problems. So at the ranking 5, lack of IT usage in the administration works for the Wakaf Property Administration. At the ranking 6 is a misuse of the Wakaf property, followed by the lack of staff at the Majlis Agama Islam, again considered as a major problems. And at the ranking number 8, accountability issues among the Nazir or Mutawali as a manager of the Wakaf buildings. And the last two factors are the legal constraint and the government policies in terms of the planning of the Wakaf property. So as a summary, the findings indicate that the managerial problems, especially on the competencies issue among school administrator, is the main barrier hindering effective management of the religious schools in Malaysia. So this issue should be given priority to ensure that efficient delivery of the Wakaf educational system. So success in overcoming this problem is crucial in supporting the transformation plan of Wakaf property development set out by the government. So that's all for my presentation. So thank you and Assalamualaikum.